Oops, I'll turn it so you can see it. Kind of changed my camera jig now. I have it set up so my camera is pointing down overhead, so it's not looking over my shoulder. Looking straight down at what I'm doing so I can be pretty much hands-free and not bump the darn thing. So there we go, we got our assembled truck here. I'm going to toss it in there for now. And these are the pins for holding the truck to the car. I'm going to toss those in there. I'm going to go ahead and put this other one together, and we'll go on to the next phase of actually putting this, starting to assemble the model. Alright, now that I got the trucks assembled and out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and glue the roof to the body. And one of the things you need to do is check your pieces and parts to look for any sprues. And what that is that's excess plastic that may be hanging off your parts that was part of the manufacturing process. Maybe there was a little gap in the mold there where some plastic leaked out, and you might have this little blob of plastic sticking out there, a little thin film of plastic between your off your different parts. So you need to take a look at it, inspect your parts, and cut it away with the X-Acto knife. But of course, you want to be careful not to cut away actual details. And this model is fairly clean looking. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue the roof to the body. Oh yeah, like for example here. You have the spot on here. That's where it looks like the plastic was injected in, and it looks like they cleaned it off fairly well, but you want to make sure, especially in this situation, this roof is going to lie flat on top of the body, that this isn't sticking out and cause the roof not to lie completely flat on the body. So what I'm going to do is there's two ways of taking care of it. You can take your X-Acto knife and try to very carefully get rid of the excess plastic, and that can be kind of tricky because if you slip and accidentally cut into the edge of your car, you're going to ruin the roof line. You know, I mean, obviously on something this small, no one's going to really notice a little nick right there because of Venn scale, but you want to be careful anyway because the slip can be disastrous in some circumstances. Another way of doing it is take a piece of sandpaper, kind of roll it up into a little ball like that, and just take the edge of this, just kind of sand that spot. And you just want to sand around there. And it isn't going to matter if you sand a little dip in the roof here, because that's going to be in the body, because that's going to be covered up by the roof. So this way you don't have to be quite as careful as you were with the knife. I mean, here fortunately there's plenty of margin for error. You know, the roof is fairly big, so yeah, go ahead and do a little more sanding. Make sure that's flat. At least nothing's sticking out. Get that cleaned up. Oh yeah, that's feeling better. A little bit more. Oh, there's a little bit more. Like that. Alright, I think we're good to go. I think that's fairly smooth. Alright, another thing you want to be careful of is your hands. Make sure you wash your hands before you handle the parts. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some oils that get on them, but you don't want to have dirty hands and get all smudges all over your parts and over your car. So you want to have clean hands doing this. Alright, now in this situation, when putting the roof on, as you can see, this roof part has a little bit of a bend to it. So you want to keep that in mind when gluing this in place. I'm going to basically start set the pins in the holes, and you can see this, how that bend works there, like that. You got this little gap here. I'm going to start gluing these pins in first, and then basically just working my way down the roof to make sure that you compensate for the bend that's in here, and that this this roof, glues on flat to the car. So Let's go ahead that way and get started. Alright. Hold that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue it from the inside. He got these pins that came in through the holes. I'm gonna apply some of the plastic weld to the pin, and that'll hold the roof in place. Okay. So let me go open this little thing up. Go for any excess there. Put that to the side. Now let's see. Okay. I'll try to secure this as best as I can. Don't want to apply too much pressure and crush the model, but you want to be firm enough in holding the roof element in place, or whatever two parts you're holding together. Dab a little glue on there. Then put it where the pin meets the roof, just at the base of the pin, down there. Alright, let me show you. Okay, see right there, a little drop. That's all you need, don't need a lot. This stuff will, there, hold it there for a couple of seconds and give it a chance to set and do its work. It's pretty quick, so you don't have to hold it too long. Alright, now let's go down to the middle and glue those pins into place. Like that, one there, little dab there. Hold it. Alright, let's go down to the end. Put another dab of glue here. Like that, and just hold it for a few seconds. There we go. Roof's on. It's pretty straight. There's a little spot there. I may need to go ahead and do a little gluing down, a little fining pinning, a little more pinning down here to get this a little flatter, but it's pretty good. I think part of the problem with this model here is that this roof line on the car doesn't exactly conform to this curvature here, so you still have a little bit of a gap, but that's not too bad. And once you get all the other parts on there, you don't really see it anymore. Once I get the ladders on here, this will be pretty much covered up, and you'll have the catwalk on there, so that won't be as visible. So I think we're in good shape right here. This may need a little TLC down on this end. I'll pin it down. But other than that, this came out okay. Alright. Now I'm going to glue the trap doors. These trap doors here. I'm going to go ahead and glue these trap doors to the bottom of, I think they're called trap doors. I'll have to go take a look at the terminology. To the bottom of the hopper car. I'm going to take care of that next. Okay, I looked it up, and as these are actually discharge gates, I'm going to attach the discharge gates to the bottom of the hopper car. So these are what these are called as the discharge gates. So I'm going to cut them off from their supports here. I'm taking the X-Acto knife. Let me see if I can zoom in on this so you can see this a little bit better. Okay, I'll zoom in on it so until it gets nice and sharp. Well, I guess that'll have to work. I'm not geared up as uber professional here. Alright, take the X-Acto knife and if you have a sharp knife, just put a little bit of pressure and should cut through.